What is going on, bros? Welcome back to another trade recap. It's been a little bit since we've done a trade recap. I can't remember the last time we did one, maybe like 3, 4, 5 days ago. But have not taken any trades in New York AM session yet. Actually, no, that's not true. We took one in New York AM session yesterday. Didn't end up actually posting a trade recap for that. If you guys want to see that, let me know. If not, no worries, right? But I did end up taking a trade in Asia session last night, and Asia's been kind of popping recently. So I decided, you know what, why not get into the trade recap and kind of show you guys the thought process going behind Asia session, everything like that. So obviously, before we hop into this, you guys already know, sponsor of the channel is Prop Firm Match. They help you pick out your prop firm. Go to their website, look at every single prop firm, every single account, their specific rules all in one place, right? So this obviously helps you out. So you don't have to go back and forth, tab to tab to tab, prop firm to prop firm to prop firm, account to account. It's all in one place right there for you. You're able to look, how many contracts can I trade? What's the payout rules? What's the profit target? What's the split? Everything like that is going to be on this website. So if you guys want to head over there, head over to Prop Firm Match, go check out, see which account is best for your trading. Now let's get into the actual trade. We ended up making $502.76 across 5 of my Lucid Pro accounts for a grand total of $2,513.80. Nice little W on the day. We're going to get into the trade, exactly what I was thinking, everything like that. So obviously, coming on to the day, if you just look at the market, like, look at this, bro. We have just been pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. And look at this from today. This was the New York AM session this morning. Like, insane. So obviously, we're not going to be shorting the market, right? You don't want to short if we're looking like that, which is pretty apparent. Don't really want to do that. So just keep it that way, right? Anyways, regardless, well, coming onto the morning, sorry, not the morning, the evening actually, since it's Asia session, we had these kind of like quote unquote data highs, very prominent strong high that we've been failing to kind of take out, as you can see, right? And we end up pushing up and we don't actually end up taking this out. ES doesn't take it out either. Then we end up falling back down. And we have a 4-hour gap that is sitting down here, as well as a 30-minute gap that is sitting right where this box is drawn. Now, a lot of people would probably say, well, why are you not waiting for the 4-hour to get tapped? And that's actually what we ended up doing come Asia Open, and then you ended up taking the longs off of that. Well, the reason being that I didn't do that, because we are so close. Well, we are so close to this buy side liquidity, right? That's what we want. We just created almost pretty much equal highs, right? So realistically, in this scenario, if we get a reaction off of this 30-minute gap, we do not need that 4-hour gap at all, right? Especially because we have such strong liquidity pools up here. Realistically, what's going to happen is if we get a reaction off the 30-minute gap, we will push up, sweep out these highs, and then continue back down towards that 4-hour gap, which is literally exactly what happened. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's exactly what did happen. So I was telling myself, okay, well, if we get a reaction off this 30-minute, I'm down to take longs up towards these highs up here, right? And so obviously, what ends up happening is we tap into this 30-minute. We actually end up putting an SMT there as well. And then we start coming up, and then we fail to resweep this low, meaning we're probably going to push higher. We get a nice strong displacement candle back to the upside, end up inversing this 1-minute gap. I entered off of that, just targeted like $500, and I risked like, I think $300, something like that. And obviously you can see it was actually a pitch perfect TP. I probably would have gotten break even if I did not just straight up go for the TP, which is amazing. It's beautiful. It's awesome. But majority of the story, main moral of the story is that, if we are very close to liquidity pools like this and we have, high time frame gaps below us, we're looking at reactions. We're not saying, okay, well, we have to go down and get this. We don't have to at all. There's a very good chance that we actually don't do that, which is exactly why you need to react off of the markets and not just say, okay, well, we have to go do this first before I can take a trade, right? Hence why I took a trade off of this 30-minute gap instead of this 4-hour gap down here. Now, to make this entire move back up, yes, we would have to retrace down to this 4-hour, but I was specifically targeting these highs, and I knew that they were going to get hit, which is what the 30-minute essentially provided for us, is that boost to continue back to the upside, take out those highs, then reverse back down towards that 4-hour gap. So it's the same thing today with AM session today. We ended up edging this 4-hour gap. We had a 4-hour gap, or maybe an hourly gap, or I can't remember what it was, an hourly gap or something. that was like I believe down here, right? Somewhere around here. That was an hourly gap that we ended up edging. We didn't tap into it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, then I don't need to take a trade." Well, first of all, we're extremely bullish, right? That's number one. ES is actually at all-time highs at the same exact scenario. And you also have to think, okay, well, this 5-minute gap right here is what we're reacting off of. If we get a strong reaction off of that and we push back to the upside, realistically, we don't need this hourly gap, right? And it's the same exact principle in the same exact scenario. If we get reactions off of lower time frame gaps and we confirm that by an IFEG, a displacement candle, whatever your entry model is, then realistically we don't need to go any lower, right? If we're going to react off this 5-minute gap, we're not going to push back down after that, right? We're going to continue that move higher, which is exactly why you could have taken this trade from this morning. I didn't trade, me personally. I probably would have taken this trade. I can't tell you whether I would have or wouldn't have. You know, if anybody tells you, "Oh, I definitely would have taken this trade," they're lying. You can't really do that because it's all heat of the moment. You have to decide right then and there. Can't really say, "Yeah, I would have taken this trade." Yeah, I would have. You know, everything like that. But can't really tell you. I probably would favor more of actually taking the trade rather than not. But you would have to obviously front run this gap and kind of enter early. So it goes both ways, right? But it's the same exact scenario. We don't need that hourly gap, right? Just because we get the reaction off that 5 minutes, probably all we need, right? So that's kind of how you have to be thinking about the markets is like, okay, lower time frame gaps are defending higher time frame gaps. If we get reactions off of those and confirm those moves either higher or lower, are we going to take a trade? And realistically, if you have enough confidence and enough conviction in the setup, then you're going to take the trade. It's the same exact scenario here as it is here, right? The only difference is that I was just strictly targeting this high, and from New York AM session this morning, this is just our move higher. There's no, specific high that I'm targeting that I'm like, oh, this is going to get ran before this happens. Not really. It's just like, okay, well, I'm going to enter this trade, right? And I'm expecting it to go all the way up higher. But regardless, that's the trade recap from last night. A little bit of sauce on this morning. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, let me know. Obviously, and then if I take a trade tomorrow, you guys will see me tomorrow. Hopefully, we hit a freaking banger. If not, you guys won't see me then. But regardless, I will catch y'all boys next time. Peace out.